If you want to publish a book, but you feel stuck, out of time, and you don't know what to do next, then it's time to finish the damn book. Here's your host, Susie Schaefer.
Welcome to this episode of Finish the Damn Book. I'm your host, Susie Schaefer. Over the last 2 decades or so, the publishing industry has changed drastically. It used to be that if you wanted to write a book, you had to find a literary agent, submit your manuscript to a publisher, and wait, and wait, and wait. While some of that is still true today, gone are the days of receiving royalty advances and getting $1 million deal with a publisher. In fact, it never ceases to amaze me at how Hollywood movies continue to portray the industry in that light. In fact, it's just not reality. Less than 1% of authors who submit a manuscript even get considered. And in the unlikely event they do get picked up, they don't have a lot to say in the editing and the design of their book. And it takes upwards of 3 years to get published. Enter the age of independent publishing, or as we used to call it, self-publishing. And yeah, it had a bad rap because people would write a book at 3 a.m. and publish by noon the next day. No editing, no design, no nothing. And so it became somewhat of a joke. In fact, did you know that the New York Times bestseller list no longer exists? Yeah, things are moving that fast. Publishing changes every day. And if you're planning to be an author, you've got to have a team that works for you and with you so that you can put your best foot forward. I have a saying, we love technology when it works. And with all the advances in AI and our ability to publish through platforms such as Ingram Spark, Amazon, and BookBaby, the world is your oyster. When just a few years ago, you had to do it yourself, now we have an entire industry of professionals that can help guide us on our journey as an author, from ghostwriting, editing, design, project management, marketing, and even PR. Long gone are the days when you had to rely on a wing and a prayer to get published. And with ebooks and audiobooks added to the mix, the possibilities are endless. I can remember when ebooks first emerged on the scene and everybody said, this will be the end of bookstores and libraries. But I disagreed even back then. I knew it was the wave of the future. Digital and audio access to some of my favorite books, including the classics, narrated by the smooth voice of a well-known actor, and the ability to take an entire library of books with me when I traveled. It just opened doors and ushered in a new generation of readers and writers. One of the things I find fascinating is the gender breakdown in book publishing. According to my research, here's what I found. In the 1960s, women penned only about 18 to 20% of published books. By 1970, it had risen to approximately 33%. And by 2020, for the first time, women authored over 50% of published books in the United States, a trend confirmed by multiple studies. Conversely, male authors represented the majority for decades, but their share dropped below half as women began representing a larger percentage. Between 2012 and 2019 specifically, women authors rose from about 50% to over 54% in just 7 years. Why the shift? I attribute it to women stepping up to embracing their divine feminine in all areas of their lives, motherhood, leadership, and balancing the divine masculine that has been prominent for hundreds of years. This rebalancing has a necessary effect. As we grow and evolve spiritually as humans, the pendulum always swings. The time we're living in now is the pendulum coming back to center. Let's dive a little deeper into what people are writing. For example, in best-selling fiction, women have a slightly higher share of the titles, and men still have the stronghold on the nonfiction sector. But that's starting to change as we see the shift in consciousness. It's fascinating to watch, and while my client base is still about 50-50, I'm working with men who are writing legacy books and women entrepreneurs. The shift is happening, and I believe that we'll see an entirely new generation of author influencers emerge over the next 5 years. As we see the evolution of authors, we'll see the industry change too. Women still make up the purchasing power of households, and some of these women, who you'll hear from on the show, will become the voices of the future. Here's another interesting insight from my own experience. Men understand the value of hiring professional services to get it done right the first time and don't necessarily want to be bothered with the details. They focus on the end result. Women, on the other hand, trust the process and the value of the experience of having a team of support along the way. What's the common thread? Neither men nor women want to look amateur or unprofessional. And those that are leaders, movers, and shakers know the rule. Stay in your lane and be the expert at what you know. Hire someone to do the rest. That being said, you can't not afford to work with someone to help you write, edit, and publish your book. I like to use the analogy, we don't do our own dental work, so why would you try and publish a book on your own? It just doesn't make sense. By now, you know that I also love to use my psychic powers to read cards and channel. So before I close out this episode, let's pull some cards and see what guidance the universe would like to share with you. Today, I'm using the deck from Queen of the Moon Oracle, and we're going to pull 3 cards. Let's see what they have to say. Give it a good shuffle. Ooh, interesting. This is a 34 card. So a 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 is the number of the divine. It's of God's source, creation, the universe, and its extremes. It's also a hot moon. Very interesting. Really kind of hot looking on the card. So it's saying that we're about to go into a time where things are going to be really kind of interesting and maybe a little bit combative and stressful and that kind of thing. But when there are extremes like this, it's saying, just take a step back, rest, trust that you've got it. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Let's see what else we got. Now you have a 4 card. 4 is the number of balance and stability. So the card is acceptance. This is saying, hey, reach out to your higher self and just accept what's happening in the world, especially when things get extreme. Just allow it to happen. Just accept what's going on. You can't change it. So why push against it, right? So yeah, use your own intuition and ask for guidance from your higher self, and it will bring that stability and balance into your life. Okay, and lastly, we have a 29 card. 29 is an 11. 11 is the number of destiny and fate. And this is the wolf moon. This is hunger. So this is saying, hey, channel that energy. You might even feel like the extremes are going to help you like create that passion, that power. This big full moon here reminds me a little bit of your solar plexus chakra. So really tap into that creativity. Ask for guidance from your higher self and allow yourself to just flow through the changes and the things that are coming your way. Okay, so there you have it. If you found this interesting, I encourage you to join me for the next episode and be sure to subscribe. Every week, one lucky listener who subscribes and posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will be entered in a drawing to win the grand prize, a private VIP day with me, valued at $25,000. Be sure to subscribe, post a review, and until then, keep on writing so you can finish the damn book. We'll see you next time.
So that's it for today's episode of Finish the Damn Book. Head on over to wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $25,000 value private VIP day with Susan herself. Head on over to finishthedamnbookpodcast.com and pick up a free copy of Susan's gift and join us on the next episode.